Hello friends, Misha Crossing here. Welcome to a video I'm very excited about. This is my new town. It is called Island. It is based on the TV show Bee and Puppycat. It's an animated show. I'll explain it a little bit here in a second. But I just want to say this town is a work in progress. There is a dream town that you all can visit, which is the town I'm visiting now. That dream address is in the description box below if you would like to visit along with me while we tour the town in this video, or you can visit any time you choose. Like I said, this town is a work in progress. It is not anywhere near completed yet. It's just at that version where I'm okay with people visiting, as long as you keep in mind it's not finished. So this town is called Island. Like I said, it is based off of the TV show Bee and Puppycat, and that show is about this girl whose name is Bee, and she meets this puppycat. It's an animal that can kind of, sort of talk, and it looks like a mixture of a puppy and a cat, so she calls him Puppycat, and they do these temp jobs together. You know, like temp agencies in real life, where they'll get people to work at an office for a week or two, or some sort of job for a week or two, just temporarily, just to fulfill some sort of job while someone is absent. Maybe that's basically what Bee and Puppycat do, but they go to these alternate dimensions and other planets to do these temp jobs, and they're always really interesting. And there's also some really interesting characters in the real world where Bee and Puppycat, I mean, I guess the other worlds they go to are the real world too, but Earth, where the TV show is set, there are some characters called Deckard, who is Bee's neighbor / kind of love interest, and I have a house for him, and I also have a house for Cardamon, who is Bee and Deckard, both of their landlords. He is a little boy whose mom is asleep. She is in a coma, and it is very sad, but it's also a very beautiful part of the show. So we're just gonna start touring Island. I want to give Island a very open and airy and also very colorful feel. And I have it set at sunset with these kind of illuminated public works projects, because Bee and Puppycat is a very colorful show. It has a lot of, it kind of feels a little bit like Steven Universe, if you've seen Steven Universe, just very, I don't know, like, just kind of magical and colorful, but also very light. I don't know how really to describe it, but I'm trying to get the aesthetic of the show across in this town, and it'll get better as I work on the town. But I'm mixing in like some more modern public works, like this traffic light, mixed with some really natural elements. And down here, this isn't anything yet. It is going to be a tennis court. Eventually I'm going to build that stadium light public works project right here where these two bells are, and there's some custom designs I've found that basically make it look like a tennis court that I am going to use. But that will be there eventually. And right now I mostly have the villager houses kind of spread out. Sorry, I'm a little burpy. I just had an energy drink. I have them spread out, like, kind of naturally. Some of them have some thought gone into them, but not a lot of them. We've got some villagers placed over here together. We've got Ellie and Bonbon's houses right by each other with some bushes around them. And up here there's the bus stop. That modern, it's called the modern streetlight, I'm not sure. And this is Cardamon's house. Like I said, he's a little boy, a little purple-haired boy, and technically I guess his mom is the landlord, but since she is asleep, as he says, she can't be the landlord, so he's the landlord, and it makes for a really cute and sad part of the show. But there's Cardamon. I think he does actually look like the character pretty well. That's honestly the exact shirt that he wears and almost his exact hairstyle, and he has these like really droopy, tired eyes. I don't have any of the characters saying anything cute yet, and obviously this house is very small. I haven't done much to it yet, but I'm definitely going to make a custom wallpaper for him to match his home's wallpaper. I'm going to make a room where his mother is in the show. She has this room, and she's hooked up to these like medical instruments, you know, she's got an IV drip and I think maybe like a monitor beside her keeping track of her vitals and all that, but she's asleep, and she's got this long flowing purple hair, and she's got these origami all around her that Cardamon has made. So I'm eventually going to expand this house and make it look much more like his house in the show, but I did add this table. It actually looks a lot like Sticky, who is Cardamon's dog in the show. Hopefully if you've seen it, you'll pick up on the references without me explaining them, but I do want to explain them for people that haven't seen the show. So this is supposed to be his dog, Sticky, and his face does look very similar. And there's one major part of this town that is not worked on at all. That's this section down here with Timpot's house. There's nothing down there, and it says so. I just have a bunch of designs that say work in progress, so people know there's nothing down there, but I'll explain what that area is going to be whenever we get down there. And another part, I'm going to explain this before we go over here. Another part of Bee and Puppycat is a show within the show called Pretty Patrick, or Pretty Patrick Lunchtime, I think is the full name. And it's just this guy sitting there eating lunch, and he's talking to the audience. He's like acting like he's talking to you personally while he's eating, and it's really cute, and Bee and Puppycat are both obsessed with it. And so I made a little Pretty Patrick viewing area here in town with the video screen and a Pretty Patrick sign with his face and a little burger down there. It's a little faint. It's like kind of hard to see in this lighting, or I guess just with the pink and the white writing, I don't know. But I really like this little area, little viewing spot where everybody in town can come together to watch Pretty Patrick. There's an episode where they're having a very hard time trying to find a TV to watch Pretty Patrick on in town, so that's their convenient little spot for them. And this is Deckard's house. Deckard, like I said, is Bee's friend / neighbor / kinda love interest, sorta kinda. And he is a chef. Oh, speaking of, the reason I called the town Island, I couldn't figure out what to call the town because they never say the town name that they live in the show, or any indication of where they live, except in one episode, somebody says that Deckard is applying to med school, quote, off the island, or not med school, culinary school. I always say med school when talking about Deckard for some reason, but it's culinary school. Somebody says he's going to culinary school off the island, so they live on some sort of island. That's the only information I got about where they live, so I figured I would call the town Island. And this is his house. It's a little bit bigger, but I only have a couple rooms worked on right now. Still a major work in progress. His main room is based off of his house's main room, and he lives with his sister. I can't even remember her name. I feel really bad. But their last name is Wizard. It's Deckard, and I'm gonna have to look up her name. Deckard and is it Rachel? No. Who's Rachel? Cass. Okay, Cass is his sister. So it's Cass and Deckard Wizard. Yes, this is their house, and I recreated the wallpaper that they have in their house. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks very magical. I gave the room some really pretty purple lighting with this stained glass lamp. And I tried to recreate what their house looked like pretty accurately. They've got a big table for eating at. To the left is eventually going to be the kitchen. They have a really nice kitchen in the show that I'm excited to make, but I haven't yet. They have a little TV area in the back right-hand corner of the room, and I tried to a shopping bag because Bee came over with groceries to make a meal with Deckard one day, and I actually do have an hourglass sitting on a table or like bookshelf deal in the main room as well, so I'm trying to Animal Crossing eyes this TV show as best as possible. It's just taking a lot of time. And this is going to be Deckard's bedroom. I need to make a custom design for his bed. This is just the basic alpine bedding right now. His wallpaper I made custom to match the TV show wallpaper. I added these little red parts to the wallpaper though. Those aren't actually in his wallpaper, but he does have these kind of crystals or decorations hanging down from his ceiling that I wanted to incorporate somehow, so that's what the red part of the wallpaper is. And he also has a ton of plants in his room. I'm gonna need to add even more plants over time. I need to make some more custom stuff in here to get the lighting. I need to customize the stained glass lamp. I think I'm gonna do it to the blue one maybe in that room to give it some nice blue lighting. But their apartment, their house feels very, very magical, and I'm excited to make the rest of it. And I'm definitely going to make Cass's room as well, and I think that's what upstairs is going to be. Oh, here's Deckard. Hello. Oh, his skin is supposed to be darker. His tan has faded. But he's still, his hairstyle is the same. And Deckard actually has two different colored eyes. I think one's in the TV show, one's blue and one is green, but went ahead and gave him the green eyes here. And here is Bee's house. Like I said, Bee is the main character, and here she is. This is the outfit she mostly wears in the show. It's got a little bumblebee and a pink skirt. And I put Feline's house right beside Bee's house because I think Feline, the Animal Crossing villager, looks a lot like Puppycat, or at least Feline is the villager that looks the most like Puppycat from the show. So here's Bee's house. I tried to make her room, well, I guess, no, her apartment has a couple of rooms. It has like the main room and her bedroom, I think, and that's pretty much it. There's no kitchen. She mentions there's no kitchen in her apartment, which is why her rent is so cheap. But I might make her a kitchen anyways, just to, I don't know, make a kitchen that I feel like Bee would have, you know, just to, just for fun. Well, that might be the last thing I do if I do something extra like that. Here's a little cushion with the Puppycat design on it. I've got a pretty Patrick portrait back here, which she has above her TV in the show. And some stuff I've added is extra, just because if I just included the items that Bee has in her actual house, I would have run out. The room would look so empty because I have to fully expand the rooms to have other rooms. I have to fully expand the main room in order to have other rooms, you know, in the house, because that's what Animal Crossing makes you do. So I'm trying to make it as accurate to the show as possible while still making it look nice as an Animal Crossing house. Get what I mean? I think you get what I mean. And I have this little bee dresser back here because her name's Bee, and I needed something else to go there. So I'm liking the way her house is coming along so far. Or maybe she doesn't have a bedroom because she just sleeps on the couch, doesn't she? I don't know. The attic isn't going to be anything. It'll probably just be storage, and maybe I'll try to make something like her dad box. She has this box that her dad made her that gives her candy every year that looks really cute and magical. Maybe I'll try to recreate that upstairs. So down here in Island is the spa area for town residents. This isn't really anything that's based off the TV show. There is an episode where they go to a cat spa that's really cute. I'm gonna put a picnic blanket over here eventually. That's just a placeholder. But I thought the hot spring would be something cute. This is also kind of meant to be a transition area because down here is going to be, yeah, work in progress. That character has not been worked on at all. But yeah, this is going to be basically another world, another reality, another planet. I'm going to put down all these designs down here that make it look like clouds or make it look like a part of outer space or something like that. It's going to look very magical and very colorful and very kind of trippy and magical and really cool. And then the inside of Tintbot's house, I'm not quite sure. I think I'm going to try to recreate different planets or different worlds that they've gone to in the TV show as best I can, because they go to some really interesting places, and I feel like I could at least partially recreate a few of those worlds inside Tintbot's house. In the TV show, Tintbot is a big TV screen, basically, that gives them their temp jobs. So they just like go in front of Tintbot and get a job, and then Tintbot teleports them to the world that they have the job in. And this house is not supposed to be here. That was a random move-in that decided to plop themselves down over here, but they will be moving out. Who is it again? I can't even remember. Peggy. Peggy will be moving out soon, don't worry. So this area, yeah, like I said, has nothing done to it yet, but I'm excited for the future of it. This double bridge right here, it actually creates a pit over here, which if you guys have watched my live streams, then you'll have seen this town and this pit. Whenever I finish the town, I am going to remove this double bridge, I think, so that the only way to get to this Tintbot magical spacey world is by going completely through the town and then getting here last. But just for ease of transportation right now, I've got this bridge right here going across the pond. And down here is retail and Red's fireworks stand. This is going to be more of a shopping center, or like a coastal shopping center. Whenever I actually work on it a little bit more, I need to add some palm trees. I need to add, I think, another public works down here. I need to add like Katrina's tent or Red's tent or something, another like shop looking thing down here to make it look a little bit better, make it look like more of a shopping center. Here's the lighthouse just down by the beach and the cafe. I want to do something a little bit cooler around the cafe. These stumps and mushrooms are basically just placeholders right now. But oh, and then there is the park up here, which just has the tire toy and a sandbox, jungle gym. I think the park fits in pretty well with the town's kind of theme slash vibe slash aesthetic, whatever you want to call it. See, I think that is all of Island that I've made so far. Yeah, because down here is just the tennis court, which isn't a tennis court yet. Yeah, so you've seen everything. Oh, the campsite is down in the water. I don't know what happened at all. The campsite used to be on the beach. I thought the campsite was on the beach, but now it's just in the water. So, and it makes it to where you can't walk right here because the game is registering that the campsite spaces come all the way back here, so it won't let you walk right there. That's a boo-boo that I made that I need to fix. Yeah. So, this has been Island, my work in progress Dreamtown, based on the TV show Bee and Puppycat. I hope you've enjoyed seeing some of it. Like I said, you can visit yourself. The dream address is below in the description box, and I will try to be working on this town more. I really, really like how it's coming along. It's very different from my other towns, so I'm excited to make some progress, and it's really fun making a town based on something to where you have a certain theme that you're working with, or like picture, you know, I'm basing the houses and the design, some of the designs of the town based on, oh, I just remembered a section that we didn't see. Hold on, I'm gonna go see it. Yeah, it's fun to make things based off of actual designs and actual TV show, something that's already designed. I just am putting it into Animal Crossing, which is really fun. Oh, hi, Deckard. So the thing I didn't show you, it's also a work in progress, as is everything, but it's this section down here. It's kind of hidden, which is why I kind of forgot about it. This is going to be a koi pond eventually. I need to find the proper designs for it, but this is going to be a koi pond, and it's got the illuminated heart and illuminated tree. I thought this would be kind of like a date spot for Bee and Deckard, somewhere that they would go and hang out together. So I'm really excited to find the designs that I need to for this spot. Okay, now that is all of Islands. Oh, and I added this flower bed in front of Deckard's house because he does have an herb garden outside of his is it a house? Is it an apartment? I think it's an apartment. But he does have an herb garden, so that's why I added this flower bed outside his house. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know any suggestions you have if you've watched Bee and Puppycat, if you have some suggestions for things I can add to the town. That would be lovely. I would appreciate it. And if you want to let me know if you visit, and feel free to tag me in any pictures that you take on any social media like Twitter or Tumblr. I've got all my social media linked down below. I hope you enjoy. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back soon with another video. You guys have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And don't forget to be awesome. Bye!